Hello, and as always, thank you guys for tuning in to the adventures of D-Webb Enterprises LLC. Today is Friday, October 22nd, 2021, and on today's video, I'm going to show you guys the kitchen that I prepped up to get ready to paint. I know a couple days ago I started the kitchen, but the reason I wasn't able to do it all within 2 days or 3 days is due to the fact that I'm doing work for a guy who has multiple properties. And he wasn't in the area right this second these past few days, so he couldn't give me the materials I needed to start painting. That's the only reason it took a few days. Normally a small job like this would only be a 2 or 3 day job depending on how many layers of paint needs to go on, because you need to at least wait a half a day or so to repaint the second coat. So let me show you guys where I'm at right now. Again, it's not finished. I just started taping, or finished taping. So right here you can tell where I'm going to paint. I'm going to paint this white right here. I'm going to paint this white right here. Sorry, I got some paint on my hand, but this is going to be white. The rest of this will all stay green. This will stay green in here. So again, this is white, and then everything in here is going to be white. The reason I taped off the ceiling right here is because he doesn't want the ceiling painted, so I'm just going to paint up to where the blue tape is, I'm sorry. That corner I could not get it to stick for some reason, so I'll just have to retape it right before I paint in that corner. Tape down the doors, make sure not to get any paint on them. I had to pull the fridge out to tape up behind it, because I'm going to have to pull it out again to paint behind it. Now I taped up underneath just to make sure. It's hard to see with the lighting, but I wanted to make sure not to get any paint on these the wood cabinets. And then I always like to show the paint I'm using for anybody who's interested. This is what I'm going to be using on the walls on the kitchen. Unfortunately, I usually like to show the tag, but you guys can't really read it. It's an eggshell white though. But you guys will see the finished look when it's done. Get all this green out of here, make it look nice and white. That's what the color looks like when it's wet. And I just want to give you guys an update to where I'm at so far. So as of right now, I did the whole first coat on the kitchen. I'll walk you guys through. I talked to the landlord. He pretty much is on the same agreement that it'll need a second coat. So I don't know, we'll just see. It's still a little early right now, so I might come through and do the second coat this evening. I just need to make sure to give it a few hours to dry. And I'm trying to talk to the landlord whether he wants me to take down the blinds and then paint underneath, or if he just wants it left as is, because I got pretty close. You can tell all the way up in there. Again, it still needs a second coat, but you can tell. All back behind the fridge. You can just tell where the dark green, because this color in the living room was the same color as the kitchen. It's just bleeding through in certain spots. It's not like I did a bad job, I just need to second coat it. The tape, I put it back up, but it started to unpeel again. For some reason that corner must be like a little greasy or something. And all this paint is wet, so obviously it still needs to dry. It might even be a little more see-through when it dries. So again, please like, share, and subscribe. That's one of the hardest things. I'm new to YouTube. I know I've been at it for about 6 months. I put a bunch of videos up about me selling NFL tickets and other stuff similar to that and my handyman work. So again, please, if you're in the Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania area and need work, branch out. I'm happy to bid or take on any type of jobs. It doesn't have to be painting. I do outdoor work, or landscaping / outdoor work, fall cleanup, I do painting, I do drywall, anything you guys can need, please feel free to branch out. I don't mean to always say the same stuff, but in case this is your first video you're ever watching of mine, just giving you an idea of what my channel is about. It's still Friday, October 22nd, 2021. Finally got the second coat done on the kitchen. I want to walk you guys through and show you the work. Now, certain spots I would definitely do a third coat on. I'm hoping that the landlord lets me come in tomorrow and touch a few things up to finish it up, but just want to show you guys how it looks so far. And if you guys remember, this was a dark green. I'll show you. It's still in the living room, the color. Just want to let you guys get a nice idea of what I did. It's still wet. You can see how shiny it is in the light. So this green was what the whole entire kitchen used to be, but now it's a nice shiny white. Again, it won't look as shiny once the paint dries. Just want to give you guys one more visual. I don't know why it looks so dark right here, but I did paint over there. It's just the shadow and looks really dark. Same over here. Today is Saturday, October 23rd, 2021, and I finally did all the final touch-ups on the kitchen I've been painting. So again, I'm a handyman in the Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania area. Please, anybody looking for work, branch out. I'd be happy to take on any job. And please like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube videos. It's one of the hardest things to get an actual following on here. Not that I expect to have any sort of crazy followers, but it's just nice to know that people like the work you're doing, putting up. So all the walls in here were this green that the living room is. And then you can tell right where it transitions. Goes from green to white. The woman moving in just said that she didn't like how it looked with the green in the kitchen. I came around and I just did all the white. Now, I made sure I talked to the owner of the property. I was a little frustrated. The person he had come in and paint before, you can tell didn't do as good of a job. It's kind of hard to tell in certain angles, but you can tell up here, it's actually on the ceiling. It's not on this wall, it's on the ceiling. And I wasn't painting the ceiling, so I told him, I said I taped up around the, you guys can see earlier on in the video, I had it all taped up. And unfortunately, some of the green that they must not have taped the people who painted prior, and just tried to get as close as they could. You could see some got on the ceiling. So when I taped over it and then painted and removed the tape, of course some green got left behind. I told the landlord, he said that, I told him the options were either paint the ceiling or leave it as is, and he said leave it as is, because there's no way to really just to hit those green parts, because then that's going to make my paint job look bad, because my paint job's going to be going out onto the ceiling, and that's not what I wanted. So I had to make sure that my stuff looked clean, even if it does mean I'm leaving a little bit of a green line behind. You can tell they even got it here on the actual wood. It's not on the wall, it's on the wood. So that's not because of my sloppy work or anything like that. Same with up there, they got it on the ceiling. It's not that I was being sloppy, I did everything I could. The only other way again to fix that is to paint the ceiling, which he didn't want to spend the extra time to get the ceiling painted. Give you guys one last look around. This was the Adventures of D-Webb Enterprises LLC. Today's video specifically, I'm just showing a painting job in a kitchen that I'm doing. I do a lot of work for the same guy. I'm willing to take on jobs from anybody. So anybody looking for work in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania area, please branch out. I also sell NFL tickets, so if you're interested in that, please branch out for that too, even not just in the Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania area. But thank you guys for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe, and have a great day. Thank you guys so much. Again, this was the Adventures of D-Webb Enterprises LLC.